Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about biogas plant. So let's have a quick introduction about what is a biogas plant. A biogas plant harnesses the power of anaerobic digestion, a natural process where microorganisms break down organic matter in the absence of oxygen to produce biogas. So anaerobic digestion is the basic principle of a biogas plant. So, this renewable energy source is primarily composed of methane and carbon dioxide derived from various organic materials like agricultural waste, animal manure, and organic household waste. So, anaerobic digestion of these organic materials happen, and that will lead to production of some renewable energy source, which is primarily methane and carbon dioxide, which is used in this biogas plant. Okay, so the process begins with the collection and transportation of organic feedstock to the biogas plant. Once there, the feedstock undergoes a series of steps, starting with the pre-treatment phase to optimize its composition. So initially, we are going to introduce this agricultural waste into this biogas plant, and later we need some pre-treatment to start this process. So after this pre-treatment phase, next phase will be taking place, so which we will be learning later. Subsequently, the material is introduced into a digester, an airtight chamber where anaerobic bacteria break down complex organic compounds into simpler gases. So a particular part called digester is there. There is nothing else but an airtight chamber where anaerobic bacteria break down complex organic compounds into simpler gases. And methane, the main component of biogas, can then be utilized as a clean and sustainable energy source. Methane will be produced after this anaerobic digestion of this, agricultural waste, whatever it is, the initial raw material which we will be providing before the pre-treatment phase. Later, this methane is produced, which can be used for various purposes. Its application range from electricity generation to heating and cooking. Methane. So additionally, the residual material, often referred to as digestate, serve as a nutrient-rich fertilizer. We know that. Biogas plants vary in scale from small household digester to large-scale industrial facilities. The efficiency and output of a biogas plant depend on factors such as feedstock quality, digester design, and operational management. Continuous advancements in technology contribute to optimizing these parameters, making biogas an increasingly viable and environmentally friendly energy alternative. As a global focus on sustainable practice intensifies, biogas plants play a crucial role in promoting circular economy principles, water reduction and waste reduction, and renewable energy adoption. Water reduction in the sense when we use, eco-friendly methods to produce gases for different purposes, so we can reduce electricity consumption. So in that matter, we can reduce water consumption. Along with waste management, we will be discussing that topic. Waste reduction is also taking place here, and renewable energy adoption. Their integration into diverse agricultural and waste management systems signifies a step towards a greener and more resource efficient future. Now, let's learn about the production of biogas from biomass. Biogas is a mixture of gases composed of methane 50 to 80%, carbon dioxide 50 into 40%, nitrogen 4%, and hydrogen sulfide 1%. So methane is the most important and the most seen gas in this biogas. Then comes carbon dioxide, then hydrogen later. Hydrogen sulfide is present 1%. Traces of hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon monoxide. Hydrogen sulfate is there, hydrogen is there, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. There are many other common names for biogas like gobar gas. Gobar means nothing else but cow dung, I guess. Different, yeah. Then sewage gas, tar gas, sludge gas. Biogas is a gaseous fuel and serves as a good source of energy for various purposes. Different purposes are there. It can be used for cooking purposes on combustion. Then gobar gas can generate electricity. It can be purified to yield good grade methane. Methane gas is extensively used as a fuel for domestic and industrial purposes. It is employed for the generation of electrical, mechanical, and heat energy. It is estimated that under ideal conditions, 10 kg of biomass can produce 3 m cube of biogas. This biogas can provide 3-hour cooking, 3-hour lighting, or 24-hour refrigeration with suitable equipment. The calorific value of biogas with 80% methane is around 8.500 calorie per m cube. Biogas production in different countries. Biogas production significantly contributes to the world's energy source. China has the largest number of biogas or gobar gas system with an estimated 7 million units. Government of China encourages and offers subsidies for construction of biogas units. As a result, the cost of a biogas plant is cheaper than a bicycle in China. So governments in many developing countries also encourage installation of biogas plants. In India, government provides a 25% subsidy. Besides encouraging banks to offer loans for construction of biogas plant, they are becoming popular in rural areas also. Pakistan also has a good number of gobar gas plants. Substrates for biogas. The usual substrates for biogas production are the waste products of animal husbandry, industries, agriculture, and municipalities. In India and other developing countries, cattle dung or gobar is most commonly used. The major raw material for biogas in China is pig dung. The concentration of organic dry matter or total solids is useful for grading the industrial, agricultural, and municipal waste. Thus, low grade, less than 1% total solids, medium grade 1 to 5% total solids, high grade 5 to 20% total solids, and solid 20 to 40% total solid wastes are available. Solid or high grade wastes are preferred as substrates for biogas production. In general, most of the substrates used in biogas plant contain adequate quantities of almost all the essential nutrients required for microbial growth. If necessary, nitrogen, phosphorus, and trace elements are added. A carbon nitrogen ratio C by N less than 40 raised to 1 is preferred for optimal biogas production. 40 raised to 1, the carbon nitrogen ratio, C by N ratio less than 40 is to 1 is preferred for optimal biogas production. So carbon is only, no, carbon is needed in higher quantities, but nitrogen is only needed in trace amounts. So water hyacinth, Iconia, an aquatic weed with huge biomass, is a good source or raw material for methane production. We know this water hyacinth, it is an emerging problem for our water sources by preventing their free flow and creating other problems like eutrophication. So this water hyacinth can be used as an aquatic biomass, aquatic weed. This is an aquatic weed which can be used as a raw material for methane production. With high C by N ratio and low lignin content, water hyacinth has high C by N ratio which is needed and low lignin content. Lignin content is less in that. So that will yield methane. The yield of methane is high. Another aquatic weed, azolla, is equally important for methane generation. Azolla can also be used as a raw material for methane production. And microbial production of methane. Methane is the most abundant constituent of biogas. It can also be directly used for various domestic and industrial purposes. The microbial generation of methane, appropriately referred to as methanogenesis from biomass, occurs in four phases. Four different phases are there. First is hydrolytic phase. Certain facultative anaerobic bacteria hydrolyzes the complex organic materials of the biogas like cellulose, starch, proteins, lipids to low molecular weight soluble products and some organic acids. First phase is hydrolytic phase, where certain facultative anaerobic bacteria hydrolyzes the complex organic materials of the biomass. These complex organic materials are nothing else but cellulose, starch, protein, lipids, etc. Then that will lead to production of low molecular weight soluble products, and some organic acids are also produced. That is the first phase of this biogas production, that is hydrolytic phase. So here anaerobic bacteria are needed. They hydrolyze complex organic materials of the biomass like cellulose, starch, protein, lipids, and then this anaerobic bacteria hydrolyze these contents and turn it into low molecular weight soluble products, and some organic acids are also produced there. The next stage is acidifying phase. This phase is characterized by more formation of organic acids besides H2, CO2 and alcohol. More organic acids are produced. In the initial stage, that is the hydrolytic phase, trace amount of organic acids are produced. But in acidifying phase, the amount of organic acids will be higher. Then next, acetogenic phase is the third phase. Acetogenic phase. Acetogenic bacteria convert alcohol into acetate. So in the previous phase, that is the acidifying phase, acid is produced, more and more organic acid is produced. Then in this acetogenic phase, acetogenic bacteria convert alcohol into acetate. These bacteria also generate acetate from H2 and CO2. Acetogenic bacteria is there which convert alcohol into acetate. And along with that, this bacteria generate acetate from H2 and CO2. Okay. The next fourth phase is the methanogenic phase. First phase is nothing else but the hydrolytic phase, next acidifying phase, next acetogenic phase, later methanogenic phase. This is the actual phase of methane gas formation. Methanogenic phase is the actual phase of methane gas production or formation. The methanogenic bacteria like Methanobacterium Omelianski, Methanobacterium formicecum, Methanobacterium brandy, then Methanobacterium, Methanosarcina barkeri. Methanosarcina barkeri. These methanogenic bacteria convert acetate and CO2 and H2 into methane. Methane is produced. So here we could see a chemical reaction. CH3COH gives CH4 plus CO2. Then 4H2 plus CO2 gives CH4 plus 2H2. CH4 is methane. So from acetate, we can create CH4, that is methane. From acetate, methane plus CO2. When we combine hydrogen and carbon dioxide, we get methane along with some two water molecules. 4H2 plus CO2 gives 1 molecule of methane plus 2 molecule of H2. 1 molecule of acetate turns into or produces 1 molecule of methane and 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. 4 molecules of hydrogen along with 1 molecule of CO2 produces 1 molecule of CH4 plus 2 molecules of water. Some other substrates like formate and methanol can also be converted to methane. Formate, 4HCOH, like formate, produces methane. One molecule of methane plus two molecule of carbon dioxide plus two molecule of water is created from four molecules of formate. Then methanol, CH3OH, four molecules of methanol produce three molecules of methane plus one molecule of carbon dioxide and two molecule of water. The overall reaction of methane formation from glucose as the starting material may be represented as follows. C6H12O6, there is nothing else but the glucose molecule, produces 3 molecules of methane plus 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. The complex polysaccharides, particularly lignin and cellulose, due to their inefficient conversion, limit methane production. So we mentioned earlier, iconia can be used as a raw material for biogas production, and the selective advantage of iconia was that the lignin content is low in iconia, which can be used as a raw material, and that is an added advantage for that iconia plant. So why is that? That lignin and cellulose content in different plants will hinder the methane production. So when the lignin content is low, methane can be easily produced, because this lignin and cellulose are complex polysaccharides, so that will hinder methane production. And in the normal process of methanogenesis, approximately 50% of the complex polysaccharides contribute to methanogenesis. Okay. Here we can see microbial production of methane or methanogenesis from biomass. Low molecular soluble products and organic acids are there. Cellulose, starch, proteins, lipids, organic acid. Cellulose, starch, proteins, lipids, all these contents are there. Low molecular soluble product and organic acids are produced in the hydrolytic phase. Then acidifying phase is there, which produces some organic acids, H2, CO2, alcohol, etc. Then acetogenic phase is the next phase we mentioned earlier. So then acetate is produced from alcohol, and from H2 and CO2 acetate is produced. Then the next phase of methanogenic phase produces methane from this acetate. So remember these four phases: hydrolytic phase, acidifying phase, acetogenic phase, methanogenic phase. Process of biogas production. We learned that. So here we can see a biogas plant, different parts of a biogas plant. One part is cow dung mixing tank, cow dung inlet pipe, we can see. Then a digester is there, and slurry level is marked. Slurry is something which is produced after this biogas production, the water content which can be used for promoting plant growth or as a fertilizer, slurry. Then gas holding tank is there, and an outlet will be there. From this outlet we can collect slurry. Okay, so these parts we will be learning. Biogas production from biomass is an anaerobic process. The anaerobic digestion is usually carried out by using airtight cylindrical tanks, which are referred to as anaerobic digesters. A digester may be made up of concrete bricks and cement or steel, usually built underground. The digester has an inlet attached to a mixing tank for feeding cow dung. The methanogenic bacteria from another digester are also added with cow dung. The digester is attached to a movable gas holding or storage tank with a gas outlet. The used slurry, spent cow dung, comes out from the digester through an outlet. This can be used as a manure. The anaerobic digester described above is a low technology gobar gas plant, the one we just saw. Commonly used for domestic purposes in rural areas in India. The process of digestion usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks when cow dung is used as a substrate. 2 to 3 weeks as needed. So these parts are of a simple biogas plant. Now when we generalize this concept, we can identify different parts of a biogas plant in a broad aspect. So there will be a reception pit. Organic waste materials are collected and deposited in the reception pit. It acts as an initial collection point for raw feedstock, facilitating subsequent processing. This pit helps in managing and organizing incoming organic materials before further treatment. So first part is a reception pit. First part in the sense the receiving end of this organic waste materials. The next pre-processing unit is there. Mechanical process like shredding or grinding increase the surface area of the organic waste, aiding microbial digestion. So enhance the efficiency of anaerobic digestion by preparing the feedstock for microbial activity. Facilitates the breakdown of organic matter in the subsequent anaerobic digestion phase. So when we introduce this organic waste materials, processes which increase the surface area of this material will promote more and more microbial digestion. Then anaerobic digester is there. Microorganisms break down organic matter in the absence of oxygen, producing biogas. Microorganisms break down organic matter in the absence of oxygen, producing biogas. Yeah. At the core of biogas production, where microbial digestion transforms organic waste into methane-rich biogas is the anaerobic digester. Then this part generates renewable energy in the form of biogas, primarily composed of methane and carbon dioxide. Then gas holder or storage tank is there, which collects and stores the produced biogas, allowing for controlled release. Then provides a reservoir for biogas storage, allowing flexibility in its utilization. Like when we, use biogas, we are expected to have some flexibility in its utilization. It's not like we are using all the biogas produced at a time. It's not like that. So we need gas holder or a storage tank which will store this gas when and release when we need to cook. Then ensure a continuous and controlled supply of biogas for various applications such as power generation or heating. Then gas cleaning system. Remove impurities like hydrogen sulfide and moisture from biogas to enhance its quality. Ensures the purity of biogas from efficient and safe utilization in downstream process. Improves the quality of biogas, preventing equipment corrosion and maintaining engine efficiency in power generation. So unwanted gases like hydrogen sulfide and moisture is removed from this biogas plant with the help of this gas cleaning system, which ensures a environment for equipment corrosion prevention and maintaining a engine efficiency. Proper engine efficiency is maintained by removing impure gases. Then a power generation system is there, which converts biogas energy into electricity using a generator or combined heat and power CHP system. Allows for the utilization of biogas as a source of electrical power, and supplies renewable energy to the grid or local facilities, contributing to sustainable power generation. Power generation system is there. Then heat exchanger, which captures and utilizes excess heat produced during power generation, which improves overall energy efficiency by utilizing waste heat for heating purposes. Then digestate storage and handling system is there, which separates and manages the solid and liquid remnants or digestate from the digestion process, recycles the nutrient-rich digestate for use as organic fertilizer. The solid and liquid fractions are stored, processed, and applied in agriculture, closing the nutrient loop for promoting sustainable farming practices. So these wastes are used. And this digestate storage part will be there, and handling system. Digestate storage and handling system is there, which manages this solid or liquid remnants after this process of biogas production. Here we could see another image of this biogas plant where wastewater feed is there, slurry. Then gas holder is there. Manure can be collected from some other part. Digester is shown, and gases, a pipe to collect gas is also shown. Now we are going to learn different types of biogas plants. First one is continuous stirred tank reactor, shortly represented as CSTR. CSTR is the most common type of biogas plant, continuous stirred tank reactor. It features a continuous stirred tank where organic materials are constantly fed and the digested slurry is continuously removed. Its principle maintains a constant inflow and outflow of the digester content, ensuring a steady state process. Then it's used suitable for large scale operations with a continuous supply of organic waste like agricultural residues and livestock manure. This is the continuous stirred tank reactor which maintains a steady state during this biogas production. Continuous stirred tank reactor. Next one is a batch or semi-batch biogas plant. In a batch system, organic materials are added in batches and the reactor is sealed until the digestion process is complete. Semi-batch system combine aspects of continuous and batch process. So digestion occurs in distinct phases, allowing flexibility in handling intermittent feedstock. And it is suitable for small scale applications such as household or community level biogas production where a continuous feed is not always available. So we put this organic materials in different batches or semi-batch biogas plant is there. Batch system is followed. And in semi-batch systems, combined aspects of continuous and batch process will be taking place. So this ensures the use of this biogas plant when continuous feed is not always available. Then plug flow biogas plant. In a plug flow system, organic material moves through a digester in a linear manner with varying stages of decomposition along the reactor length. So digestion progresses as materials move through the digester with different zones for different stages of microbial activity. In this case, efficient. This is efficient for large scale operations, especially with homogeneous livestock like energy crops or crop residues. Then balloon biogas plant or floating drum biogas plant, next one, features as a gas tight flexible membrane balloon that rises and falls with the production and consumption of biogas. This is a flexible membrane that rises and falls with the production and consumption of biogas. The balloon provides space for the storage of biogas, maintaining constant pressure inside the digester. It is commonly used in small scale or household biogas plants, particularly in rural areas. The next, fixed dome biogas plant. This one is a dome shaped one. So gas tight fixed cover that does not move with gas production. This previous one, the membrane is flexible. Whenever biogas is produced, it will inflate. But in this second one, that is a fixed dome biogas plant, that membrane is not there, fixed cover will be there, which does not move with gas production. Gas pressure inside the dome increases as biogas is produced, pushing out the digested slurry. Digested slurry will be pushed into outside. Suitable for small to medium scale biogas plants, often implemented in rural and agricultural settings. Then horizontal plug flow biogas plant is there, similar to the plug flow system, but the digester is oriented horizontally. Organic material moves horizontally through the digester, facilitating efficient decomposition. We in the previous slide we learned about plug one. So plug flow biogas plant is something which is a vertical one where different stages of this digestion will be taking place in different parts, different in a succession like manner, digestion in a linear manner. So in this one, horizontal plug flow biogas plant, similarly the plug flow system is there, but the digester is oriented horizontally. So organic material moves horizontally through the digester, facilitating efficient decomposition, suitable for medium to large scale operations, offering advantages in terms of mixing efficiency and reduced construction costs. An upflow anaerobic sludge blanket or UASB reactor utilizes a sludge blanket where dense granular sludge settles and allows anaerobic digestion to occur. Dense granular sludge will settle down and that will lead to anaerobic digestion. Upward flow of wastewater ensures contact between organic matter and microbial sludge for efficient digestion. Commonly applied in wastewater treatment plants for biogas production and simultaneous treatment of organic pollutants. So this one is used in wastewater treatment plants because sludge is there. So dense granular sludge or dirt will be settled into the bottom, which can be used for biogas production. Each type of biogas plant has its own advantages and is selected based on factors like feedstock availability, scale of operation, and specific application requirement. The choice of a particular design depends on the goals and conditions of the biogas project. So we learned different types. So let's have a quick summary. Types. Continuous stirred tank reactor is there. Continuous stirred tank reactor. Then batch or semi-batch biogas plant. Then plug flow biogas plant. Plug flow system. Organic material moves to the digester in a linear manner with varying stages of decomposition along the reactor length. And then balloon biogas plant where a flexible membrane is there which fills with the production of this biogas. Then fixed dome biogas plant, horizontal plug flow biogas plant, then upflow anaerobic sludge blanket reactor, which is used in case of wastewater treatment. Now we are going to learn about different microorganisms used in this biogas production. Hydrolytic bacteria, for example, Clostridium species bacteria. Clostridium species are known for their ability to break down complex organic polymers into simpler compounds during the hydrolysis stage of anaerobic digestion. They produce enzymes that degrade materials like carbohydrate, protein, and fats into smaller molecules, making them more accessible for subsequent microbial actions. So, hydrolytic bacteria is there, which is a necessity for the production of this biogas. For example, Clostridium species bacteria. Along with that, acidogenic bacteria is also there. For example, bacteroids. Bacteroid species are acidogenic bacteria that ferment. So these bacteroid species are acidogenic bacteria that ferment similar compounds produced during hydrolysis into organic acids like acetic acid. This fermentation step is crucial in the anaerobic digestion process as it helps in the breakdown of complex substrates and generates intermediate products for further microbial conversion. Acidogenic bacteria. Then acetogenic bacteria. Syntrophobacter fumarocidans. These are some acetogenic bacteria. Syntrophobacter fumarocidans is an acetogenic bacterium that plays a role in converting organic acids into acetic acid, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. This step is important as it paves the way for the final stage of anaerobic digestion where methanogenic archaea can produce methane from this intermediate products. Then methanogenic archaea, methanobacterium species, methanogenic archaea such as methanobacterium species are crucial for the production of methane, the primary component of biogas. These microorganisms use acetic acid, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide as substrates to produce methane through a process known as methanogenesis. Methanogenic archaea are key players in the final stage of anaerobic digestion, contributing to the energy rich biogas generated in the process. Each group of microorganisms plays a specific role in the sequential breakdown of organic materials, ultimately leading to the production of biogas. The collaboration of these microbial communities ensure the efficient conversion of organic waste into a valuable energy resource within a biogas plant. Landfill sites for methane production. This is an invention. Landfill sites are low cost digesters built underground for the digestion of solid wastes for industries and municipalities. As the anaerobic digestion of solid waste organic material occurs, methane gas is generated. It can be recovered to boring gas wells into the top of the landfill. So, this landfill area sites are used for methane production. And factors affecting biogas methane production. The factors affecting methane production with special reference to biogas plant are briefly described here. Temperature and pH. The ideal temperature is 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, while the pH is 6 to 8 for good yield. Slurry composition. The ratio between solid and water composition in the slurry should be around 1 to 1, 1 raised to 1. A carbon nitrogen ratio of 30 raised to 4 in a slurry results the optimal methane production. Good mixing and solubilization of organic constituents is required. Then anaerobic conditions, the digester should be completely airtight so as to create suitable anaerobic conditions. Then presence of inhibitors, ammonium sulfate and antibiotics inhibit methane production. Then agricultural wastes, pig and chicken manure generating ammonia and wastes from paper rich in sulfate inhibit biogas production. So make sure not to introduce these things into a biogas plant. Ammonium sulfate and antibiotics, along with agricultural wastes, pig and chicken manure, and wastes from paper. Then, advantages of biogas production. By using a simple technology, agricultural, industrial, and municipal wastes can be converted into a biofuel. The leftover residue after biogas formation can be used as fertilizers. Thus, the waste materials that would cause environmental pollution are fruitfully utilized for biogas and fertilizer production. First advantage is renewable energy. Biogas is a renewable energy source produced from organic waste, contributing to sustainable energy production and reducing dependence on non renewable fossil fuels. Next is greenhouse gas reduction. Greenhouse gas reduction. The process of anaerobic digestion in biogas plants helps mitigate greenhouse gas emissions by capturing and utilizing methane, a potent greenhouse gas that would otherwise be released into the atmosphere during the decomposition of organic waste. Next, waste management. Biogas plants aid in effective waste management by utilizing organic materials such as agricultural residues and food waste, reducing the environmental impact of landfill disposal and promoting a circular economy. Then, fertilizer production. The byproduct of biogas production, digestate, is a nutrient rich organic fertilizer. Its application in agriculture enhances soil fertility, promoting sustainable and eco friendly farming practices. In energy independence, biogas plants contribute to local energy independence by utilizing locally available organic resources. This reduces reliance on centralized energy sources and fosters community level energy production. Energy independence can be created. The reduced odor and pathogens. Anaerobic digestion in biogas plants helps eliminate unpleasant odors associated with decomposing organic waste. Additionally, the process reduces the presence of pathogens, enhancing public health and safety. Then, mitigation of air and water pollution. Biogas production helps in minimizing air pollution by capturing methane emissions and reduces the risk of water pollution associated with the leaching of nutrients from untreated organic waste. In adaptability, biogas plant can be tailored to various scales, making them adaptable for use in rural and urban settings as well as in developed and developing regions. Then grid stability. Biogas can contribute to grid stability by providing a reliable and consistent source of energy, helping balance fluctuations from intermittent renewable sources like wind and solar. Within rural development, biogas projects in rural areas can stimulate economic development by providing energy for local businesses, creating jobs and improving overall infrastructure. Reduced reliance on chemical fertilizers. The use of digestate as a fertilizer reduces the dependency on chemical fertilizers, promoting sustainable agriculture and minimizing environmental impacts associated with conventional farming practices. Then carbon sequestration will be taking place. The digestate produced by biogas plant can enhance soil carbon content, contributing to carbon sequestration in agricultural lands. Some limitations are there for large scale production of methane. Although production of methane as a constituent of biogas is ideally suited for domestic purpose, many people argue against the large scale commercial production of methane for the following reasons. Methane is abundantly available in the natural oil and gas fields produced by the same mechanism of methanogenesis over a period of years. Then microbial production of methane is more expensive than its isolation from the natural gas. Methane production by gasification of coal is more economical than its production from biomass. Being a gaseous fuel, it is very difficult as well as expensive to store, transport, and distribute methane. So, these are some bad things or negatives of methane. It's not like we are only considering the positive aspects. For a balanced approach, we are always, considering the negative points too. Methane is unsuitable for use as a fuel in automobiles. This is because it is very difficult to convert the gaseous methane into liquid state. So, despite the limitations listed above, production of methane from a wide range of biodegradable materials, particularly the waste, is still attractive. This is due to the fact that the biomass used for methane production or generation is renewable, in contrast to the permanent depletion of naturally produced methane in the gas and oil fields. So, biodegradable materials are a very good source of methane production, and this methane production should be encouraged from this biogas plants. Now let's learn some key considerations before biogas plant installation. This is some sort of practical application if we are going to install a biogas plant. So we need to take care of these things. Site selection. Choose an outdoor location with sufficient sunlight and space for the biogas plant. Ensure accessibility for waste input, gas utilization, and routine maintenance. Ensure accessibility for waste input, gas utilization, and routine maintenance. So, site selection is very important. Then, design planning. Determine the size and type of biogas plant based on available organic waste like kitchen waste, animal dung. Popular designs for home use include floating drum, fixed dome, and prefabricated modular digesters can be used. Then, material procurement. Gather necessary materials including a digester tank, gas storage, inlet outlet pipes, and safety features. Materials may include bricks, cement, PVC pipes, a gas holder, and a gas stove needed for this purpose. So, material procurement is needed. Then, digester construction. Build the digester structure according to the chosen design. Ensure airtight construction to facilitate anaerobic digestion. Airtight construction of this digester will be very important. Then gas collecting system. Install a gas collection system connected to the digester to capture and store the biogas produced. Gas collection system. Install a gas collection system. Then inlet and outlet construction. Set up systems for introducing organic waste into the digester and extracting digesting material slurry for use as fertilizer. Then gas utilization. Connected gas storage to a gas stove or other appliances for energy use. And other appliances we need to collect that gas pipe. Ensure proper safety measures including gas pressure regulation. Gas pressure regulation, I'm sorry. Then startup and feeding. Gradually introduce kitchen waste, food scraps, and or animal dung into the digester. Start with a small amount and increase over time. Monitoring and maintenance. Regularly check gas production and monitor the digester's temperature. Conduct routine maintenance, including clearing blockages and ensuring gas system integrity. Then avoid putting materials in a biogas plant that can disrupt the anaerobic digestion process or harm the system. Examples of materials to avoid include citrus fruits. Citrus fruits like lemons, oranges, and grapefruits contain natural antimicrobial compounds that can inhibit the activity of bacteria in the digester. So avoid putting citrus fruits into a biogas plant. Then meat and dairy products. These can lead to the production of substances that may negatively impact the digestion process and to produce undesirable odors. So to prevent this from happening, never put meat and dairy products into a biogas plant. Then oil and greases, excessive fats, oils and greasy substances can create scum layers, reducing the efficiency of the digestion, which will disturb this biogas plant microbiome. So remove putting oil and greases into a biogas plant. Then plastics and non-biodegradable materials are a no-no. These materials can clog the system, disrupt the digestion process and cause long-term damage. So remove putting these into a biogas plant. Then large bones or hard materials, materials that are difficult to break down, can impede the digestion process and may damage the mixing mechanisms. Then toxic or chemical substances, that's really obvious. Not to introduce these toxic or chemical substances into a biogas plant. Avoid adding materials that contain harmful chemicals as they can affect the microbial activity in the digester and pose risks to the environment. Then highly acidic materials, extremely acidic substances can alter the pH balance of the digester, affecting the microbial community responsible for anaerobic digestion. Then weeds with seeds, weeds that have gone to seed may introduce unwanted plants into the system, creating challenges in controlling and maintaining the digester. So avoid putting seeds. Then excessive amount of woody material. Excessive amount of woody material is a big no-no. These large quantities of woody materials, such as branches and twigs, may take longer to break down and could interfere with the digestion process. In chemically treated or pesticide contaminated materials treated with chemicals or pesticides can disrupt the microbial balance in the digester, affecting its efficiency. Pet waste. Avoid adding pet waste into a biogas plant, or animal waste from pets can contain pathogens that may survive the anaerobic digestion process and pose health risks. For example, cat litter, cat excreta contains some harmful bacteria which can be dangerous for pregnant ladies or something like that. So never put pet wastes into a biogas plant. Then inorganic materials, avoid adding non-biodegradable or inorganic materials like glass, metal or synthetic fibers, as they can damage the digester and complicate waste process. So these are some important things to keep in mind when operating a biogas plant. Never put these things into a biogas plant. So let's have a conclusion. Biogas plant stands as a remarkable embodiment of sustainable energy and waste management solutions. Its positive attributes such as renewable energy generation, organic waste recycling, and environmental benefits make it a promising technology for a more sustainable future. One of the most significant advantages of biogas plants lies in their ability to convert organic waste into a valuable sources, biogas. This remarkable energy source not only provide a clean alternative to conventional fuels but also contribute to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The closed loop system of anaerobic digestion not only curtails methane emissions from organic waste but also harnesses this potent greenhouse gas for energy production. Furthermore, biogas plants offer a holistic approach to waste management by transforming kitchen waste, agricultural residue, and animal manure into nutrient rich slurry. This digested material serves as a potent organic fertilizer, fostering soil health and promoting sustainable agricultural practice. While the benefits are significant, it's essential to acknowledge the challenges and limitations associated with biogas technology. Factors like initial investment cost, space requirement, and technology sensitivity require careful consideration during planting and implementation. Moreover, the success of a biogas plant hinges on proper feedstock management, regular maintenance, and adheres to safety protocols. As technology advances, ongoing research and development promise to address some of these challenges, making biogas an increasingly viable and attractive option for diverse applications, from small scale home installations to large community based or industrial systems. So it would be a good idea to install biogas plants if you can, you know, take care of the conditions for a biogas plant maintenance. So it would be better to choose to install a biogas plant for a better environment. So in this seminar, we learned about biogas plant. I had a quick introduction about what is a biogas plant. We mentioned some important points about biogas plant, like production of biogas from biomass and biogas production in different countries, some historical perspectives, and then substrates for biogas. What are the important substrates needed for a biogas plant to produce biogas? Then methane production by microbes and some chemical reactions we mentioned, and process of biogas production, different stages of biogas production, and then we mentioned important parts of a biogas plant. Then we learned different types of biogas plants. Then we learned about the microorganisms needed to start a biogas plant, their importance, and how landfill sites are used for methane production. Then factors affecting biogas construction and advantages of biogas production. And to balance that, we mentioned some limitations for large scale production of methane, and as a practical application, we mentioned some important key considerations before biogas plant installation and what are the important things to avoid putting into a biogas plant. And we had a conclusion. So that's all about my topic. Thank you for listening.